Hello and welcome to First Encounter with Nimble. I'm Mildred and with me is Johnny. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Mirag. What is this game we're checking out today?
It is a game of art. Actually, it's software that creates art or creative stuff. It's a writing software.
Okay.
And it's coming out on Steam. It's called Nimble.
Apparently that's the justification for us covering it.
Yeah, it's out on Steam. That's a justification. No, as some people may or may not know, I actually wrote a book and self-published it. So I figured, hey, there's writing software on Steam. Maybe I should actually check it out, because I'm always looking into alternate software solutions for everything. I love checking out new software. That's not sarcasm. I actually really do that.
I do the same. It's an addiction.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I really like this thing, but I want to check out something that might be better or
I
better
think
at
I have.
something else.
I think I have paid for like 20 different Twitter clients for Android. Don't tell anyone.
Awesome. Anyway, I actually have never reviewed software in my life. I mean, unless you count games as software.
I do, but not in the same way.
Not in the same way. Yeah, so what we're doing here is I actually ported over my entire book into Nimble to actually check out what the process of using Nimble is. So the things I look for when I'm working in a program is a writing program, to be specific, is it should be easy to use. It should make me alt-tab into different windows as little as possible. It shouldn't disrupt my flow, and it should give me as little hassle as possible when I'm exporting my writing. Regarding the last one, I have never encountered a single software that let me actually export something properly, like to my specifications. My sort of triage or whatever of softwares I use for writing, I use Scrivener, which is kind of like Photoshop for writers. Like, it's super detailed and super complex. I'm not joking, it's really cool. I use Dropbox to back stuff up. I use Microsoft Word to pack everything up and send it to test readers so I can like have the program proper. I know, don't close your eyes on me, I didn't see your reaction to the web camera. And I use Notepad++ to HTML tag my entire book so I can actually put it on Kindle without tearing my hair out.
You know how many pieces of software you just mentioned that I actually use?
One.
Notepad++ is amazing, but
It is.
I mean, I don't know if I would call me a writer currently. I have, at times, written about video games online. I have never written a book, but let's say that my most prominent writing software is Google Docs.
Okay, so before we start here, I'm just gonna say never use Google Docs for writing anything that's longer than 2 pages, unless it's a collaboration. Just don't. It's not worth it. I tried that with my book. It's not worth it. Anyway, let's get back to Nimble. So I'm just gonna go with the main feature that kinda intrigued me. Nimble has Steam Cloud support. You can see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, that sounds actually like a good idea.
It sounds like an excellent idea, because it tells you from where your current copy is. You can download the local copy, or you can save it to Steam Cloud, and you'll have it there.
And that pop-up even says that it knows that it is exactly the same version.
Yeah. So like, no, actually, like when you sync it, if you save it like this, just I'm clicking on the save button, it saves directly on Steam Cloud. As you say, it says 7 seconds ago, so it does it automatically.
Okay, cool.
And it has a 1 GB limit, which for writing is quite a lot, actually. Like the entire book is 60 kilobytes.
Every character is a byte, so...
Yeah. Like, you see this number here? That's 1 year of painstakingly writing a novella. Down to just, like, kilobytes. But yeah, that's like, that was the thing that actually caught my eye, and that's a bit like why I was interested in this, because it kind of kills the necessity of having Dropbox, because I save everything on Dropbox, and I kind of do that because you can never have enough backups of your work.
Yeah, I wish I could back up more. The thing we do currently, like videos and shit, fucking hard to back that shit up.
Oh yeah, that's massive. But
Yeah.
Ryan, it's not as hard. So another thing that you can see that everything is kind of blackish and darkish.
Yep.
This is one of those writing softwares that lets you actually customize how the thing looks. So I'm actually appreciated the default to a darker tone, because I'm one of those people that writes at 2 a.m. in the morning. And when you have a white background on it, like, I don't know, like this, if you see this at 3 a.m., you're dead.
Oh god, what did they do to it?
Don't ask.
I haven't seen Microsoft Word since like Windows XP.
Yeah, I just use it for formatting. Anyway,
Terrifying.
For formatting and work. So that's kind of like the main things about this. You can actually go into and customize what the background and Brian works, so you can make it
bright pink,
and click apply, and you
and
you forsake yourself for being so awful. Okay, it's back. We're fine. But I mean, like, I don't like bright pink. Maybe someone gets their perfect inspiration from writing bright pink. Like, I think, like, when you're writing, you need the perfect environment for these kind of things. So that's appreciated.
I think even if you like bright pink, I don't think that white text on bright pink is anyone's thing.
Yeah, you have to go with yellow text on bright pink. Okay, so
God,
you can
you're
actually,
a monster.
so actually you can actually click this and go into the Steam Workshop, to get. It has Steam Workshop support. Steam Workshop support. You can get add-ons. Yeah, for add-ons you can do
Steam
that.
is weird, man.
Yeah, but you can also do this. This is kind of cool. You can go to Wikipedia and say my book is about psychobombs. So let's like search psychobomb, and we get psychobomb or the psychobomb song by Tea Party. But we're actually looking for this. So you look at this and you're like, oh, I'm gonna need this as reference, just like to take it quickly, and you can click save notes, and there it is. You can see it in this extremely narrow window, which I have not yet figured out how to expand, so that's a bit of a...
I'm sure there's a way. It would be stupid to not have a way.
I really hope there's a way. I'm kind of like so used to Scrivener, which also has this kind of stuff. I haven't actually seen importing web pages as a thing there, but it has like these multiple window things, and how it does it, you just like mouse over to the edge and you can expand it, which is what I instinctively try to actually do.
Yeah, that seems like the thing you would need to do.
Yeah.
The lower right corner of the scroll box, does that do anything?
No, it like does nothing, and it's so confusing. And it seems like this kind of space is reserved for that. Like, I tried looking at it, but if there is a way, it might be in this advanced thing. But this is like I'm guessing
this is just straight up messing with the code of shit.
Yeah. This, I mean, I'm guessing one of the scroll bar things or something does it, but this is a bit too in depth for me. Like when I'm writing, I don't want to mess around with this. I'm sure. But like to illustrate some of the issues I've had with this program, like you kind of assume, oh, I should be able to drag this up. No, it has a bunch of these things where you assume that something should work in a certain way, and it simply doesn't. For example, this is like the intro to my book, and one of the last phases when I was writing was rearranging all these chapters. And let me tell you, that's a nightmare. And when I say rearranging, I literally mean, no, 8 shouldn't go here, 8 should actually be 4, and 4 should be 8, and then you just rearrange that crap. So let's say I go to, like, I don't know, let's jump to this. Actually, I need to jump to this to illustrate it. See this, I'm not sure if you're seeing this. So
yeah, I'm seeing this.
So let's click to, this is non-spoiler, I'm just gonna click on the terminology page at the end of the book. When I click on it, it jumps back, it resets this list and jumps it back, which is like this isn't like too many chapters. This is like when counting the intermission chapters, this is like 16. No, it actually says 17. That can get pretty annoying when you actually have much more chapters. So
I imagine.
Yeah, that's one of the things that actually like bugs me here. And here's another thing. Let's say, oh man, how did I define magic in my world? And I have this like term, oh, this is what magic is in my book's world. Wait, was that the same thing I said in chapter 4? Let me click chapter 4. And I click chapter 4, and then I go and search through chapter 4. And when I'm done with that, and find, oh, is that it? And then I click back to terminology, and it resets back. And why I'm saying this, like, you would probably assume, like, oh, of course it'll reset back. Actually, no, I'm gonna compare this to the software I usually use. Like, for example, in Scrivener, it actually does remember the exact position where you were in the chapter, what you highlighted, and everything.
That seems reasonable, considering that's like the main menu for navigating your thing, and the text view is supposed to be subservient to it, I think.
Yeah, and another thing I use in my book a lot, as you see, this is all in italics, yeah. Or however you say it. So I have these like intros to my little chapter that are, fairy tale things, and I use that style for them. So when I write, my mouse shouldn't actually exist. There are 3 steps. There's like keyboard, mouse, and then you're outside of the window after that, and you can never come back. Like you alt-tabbed to something. So when I'm writing, I usually do everything via keyboard, and if I ever have to go back to my mouse, it's a little bit like it almost breaks the pace. It doesn't break it completely, but it breaks my pace.
It kind of does. It does.
Now, yeah, so now what I want to do is, let's say I want to put something in italics. So let's just add a new chapter. This is like bonus chapter. So let's say I want to write in italic. I press Control I. That's not the shortcut for italics. It's a shortcut for the search function.
Is there a shortcut for italics?
So that's literally my first thought when I did this. Like, is there a shortcut for italics? Let's check. Where's the italics button? And this is initially hidden, so this doesn't exist when you start the program up. You actually have to be like, where's the toolbar? And then you see it. Oh, it's Alt formatting. Oh, it's Alt +3. You go Alt +3, and you're like, okay, what's a shortcut for italics? Tooltip doesn't say. Which I think is a bit poor form, because I think generally in applications, mouse over does tell you what the shortcut for something is.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's something that I really don't like, and it doesn't get like, oh crap! I keep jumping to spoilery chapters. I don't want actually to spoil the book before people read it. So let's say I want to click like psychopomp and bold it. The word psychopomp, where currently the cursor is. So what do you expect will happen when I click bold the button?
Nothing.
You expect nothing? No, seriously. What would you expect? You expect nothing because I'm setting the stage for something that you wouldn't expect. But like, what would you expect as a user to happen when you click bold?
I expect that nothing will happen immediately, and then you will start typing, and those letters will become bold.
Okay, here's what happens. When you click bold in the middle of a word, usually in text programs, it should become bold itself. So what happens when you click here is you get like this markup that is usually used in some programs. I think Notepad++ does it as well. And whatever I type in, it will be rendered as bold and formatting. But the problem is, it does that because it's interested in. But like the problem is, the problem with that kind of approach is that let's say we're typing. Let me find our bonus chapter. So let's say Control B doesn't work. The psychopomp, and then we press space, and that's still bold. So we have to actually click bold again, but then it opens another bold window. So you actually, while you're typing, you have to either press write twice or click out of the word and then continue typing. And that's like really a pace ruiner for me.
Okay.
If anybody except me actually understood what I was getting at.
I understand what you're saying. I think it's a bit... I've never used a word editing program that actually lets you just click on a word and then click bold and have it turn the word itself bold. But I guess maybe the serious ones do.
I think Word does that. Let's actually check it since we have Word here. So, yeah, it's bold. And I'm pretty sure I don't have Scrivener installed right now because I'm currently in a fresh install. So I haven't gotten around to it. But I'm pretty sure Scrivener does it as well.
I have only used very old versions of Word.
Microsoft Bold. They should actually have called their search engine that.
Instead of Microsoft Bing.
Yeah. But yeah, so what I'm getting from this is that it has a lot of these like little pace ruiners when you're actually trying to write stuff, which means that I would prefer the space I otherwise have. So Scrivener also lets you customize everything to be black. Like what I actually do when I use Scrivener is I customize everything to be like completely black background and neon green words, so it looks like an absolutely horrible Matrix terminal. But that's how I write stuff.
That's how you write your Matrix fanfiction.
Yes. Speaking of fanfiction, you can export your story to the web. Now, where is that? Formatting, full screen. No, wait, there should be an export button.
I think that was the export button.
Oh yeah, I was about to, yeah. I'm gonna get back to this in a bit, actually. First I want to show up some other stuff. So you see like this big space, you probably were wondering like, what the hell is that?
That's for switching between multiple files.
Yeah, so you can actually add stuff there. This is kind of like your little notes section in general. So you can add, like a bookmark, and you can add a text note. So let's say, well, let's call it untitled. That's always good for being organized. And you can type here. Don't forget that, I don't know, magic is dangerous, yo. And then when I write about magic, I'll be like, oh man, what was that thing about magic? And I'll be like, yeah, it's dangerous, yo. So this is my this is my writing process on a very basic level. You can
what was that about magic? Yes, it's dangerous, yo.
So you can also do doodles. This is something I actually don't get. I'm not against it, but I just don't get it. This is where you literally doodle stuff. So it's
this is where you tab out to Photoshop and do it right.
No, this is literally where you do. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. What does my main character look like? Let's see. Like we need.
Yes, I want to see your artistical interpretation of your own character.
So this is the character. Can we switch the brush into something else? And we go. Well, actually, no. It needs to be like filled up black. So it's like. No, wait, wrong one. I am totally not doing brushes properly. Did I pick a wrong brush? Okay, let's try this for a minute. Let's delete this. Yes. And let's go back. So doodle. We're gonna call this untitled 2 because we don't want to be organized in any way. Okay, so here's a character. And now we need to like fill up this. And we need to add this because he's a Gray Fox ripoff. And we'll be like, oh, okay, so like, oh man, what does my character look like? And it's like this. That's not how it works.
Oh, he's Gray Fox. Ooh.
Actually, no, that's not how it works. How it actually works is, actually, wait, wasn't there here character note? Let's see. No. Shinosuke.
All caps Suzuka.
Yeah. So yeah, you can add an image here, and like, oh crap, now I need to find where this is. It's on old hard disk. It's on. Where the hell is this? My pictures, commissions, and Shinosuke. And there's he in his little glory. And because I cannot widen this unless he is in a very Unless it is in like portrait format, it's gonna be this little tiny picture. Which again, you can do this in Scrivener and not have it exactly like this because you can actually wind the window. So let's do this. So his name is Shinosuke Yamagami and his gender is male. So here's the interesting part, which is I'm probably the only person that's ever gonna have this problem. I need to enter his age. Now here's
I know what your problem is.
Now I'm trying to click on the actual age number, and it's not working. It's not letting me. So I have to do this.
I almost expected there to be a cap on the age box.
I actually was hoping there would be, because that would be hilarious. I think he's 417. Crap, I have to actually check my notes, I'm not sure. Anyway, here's a summary of the character. Shin is a badass psychopomp. He has a sword, which can be many kinds of swords. His friend is a dog who is a demon who is a corgi. And that's our summary for the character, so we can always use this as a reference. No, crap, I didn't click save. Oh, man.
Okay, so I think we've demonstrated some problems with this software. Is there any, good reason to use this over the competition that you can see?
No, actually, I'm not done with all the features yet.
Okay.
There's a few more things I want to actually highlight. So there's this, export thing, and you can export it into HTML, EPUB, PDF, WordPress, and you can get exporters from the workshop to fanfiction.net and Fiction Press and whatever people else decide to make. I'm guessing one of the first things is probably going to be also DeviantArt exports. Okay, so you can go to WordPress, PDF, EPUB, HTML. I'm just going to go to PDF real quick, and let's just save it to desktop. And I'm going right over this. This is actually the one I exported earlier. Yes. So let's go to desktop. And everybody can see what mess my desktop is. And when we open this, I haven't edited the metadata. That's fine. That's on my end. Oh no, wait, this is the old file. I didn't close it. Let me just try this again. There we go. This is the new file. So as you see, it formats it. So this is my personal thing with every single writing tool I have ever used. Exporting is never to my specifications. There's no indent here. I want this to be centered, but since it draws the chapter thing, let's cancel this. It draws a chapter thing from these names. So if you write the chapter name at the top here, it actually has a double name. So this isn't at all how I'd want things to be exported, and I see no good way to actually prepare my document for a proper export. So as you see, I can kind of edit how the font works, how the themes work and everything, but I can't find the way to set this entire thing up to export in the exact same way I want, which is very nitpicky. But again, when I use Scrivener, it's more it gives you, it doesn't export the same way it looks in your writing environment. You have your writing environment, and then you can specifically set your export environment, and it'll export according to those specifications and templates. So again, that's another one-up for the software I use. So I think that's about most of the stuff I'm gonna say. What I would probably there's EPUB export as well, but again, this isn't the fault of the actual program. I have never found a good EPUB exporter, because why is EPUB exporting so difficult? Generally, whenever you export something into ebook format, ebook readers essentially read the HTML tags from the document, and a lot of software, including Word, including Scrivener, everything I've ever tried, adds a lot of clutter to that export. So what happens is it'll look good on, I don't know, Kindle Paperwhite, but it'll look horrible on Kindle Fire, stuff like that. So the safest way you can actually ever make ebooks is literally open Notepad++ and literally just add HTML tags everywhere. And do it in HTML with a CSS file for style. That's the only surefire way to actually have it compatible with almost every device properly.
That sounds pretty nuts to me.
It is. It sadly is. But like not even... and then you package it all with Kindle's proprietary software. But, you know, that's just the reality of the current situation. You have... Unless you do that, you're going to have a lot of clutter in your book, and it's not going to read well on all devices. And that's, you know, that's one of those things that happens when you make software too. I mean, or mobile apps or whatever. It's not going to be compatible with everything. You're going to have oddities somewhere. So would I recommend Nimble Writer? I think that's like what it all boils down to. I would only recommend it for hobby writing as it is. But even then, I don't know what the price point for it is. This is actually an early build. We're recording this on the 20th. It releases on the 21st of April. I don't think it still has a Steam price point. It doesn't it? You're checking it right now.
It does not have a price listed yet, no.
Yeah, so I don't know what the price will be. Again, like the software you work with, like writing software you work with, it all depends on what you need it for. If you literally write stuff to put it up on, I don't know, art sites like, you know, fanfiction.net, DeviantArt, like if you put it on sites that already formatted in its own way, I mean, like, you kind of upload it and then the website interprets it in its own way, then I think this is fine because you're not that concerned with the actual formatting. If you're doing this for a book, either an ebook or a proper book, I'd say still go with Scrivener because it does all of this and it does it like more user-friendly. I'm guessing if this would actually fix the flow problems, like my biggest gripe with this are the flow problems. Like, you know, how I have to click constantly on this, how this is a bit also like, see, like this is now focused, so it's scrolling here, and when I mouse over this, I'd want this to scroll, but I have to click it, so it has a lot of flow problems. If it fixed the flow problems, and I'm guessing they probably would, that's kind of like a quality of life thing you see later in software, I could recommend it as a writing environment that you can customize, because I think I got Scrivener on sale. I'm not actually sure what the price point for it is. Let's actually check Scrivener. Or I never know how you pronounce this. So let's buy Scrivener. It's $40. I'm guessing this is less than $40. Like, I'd be surprised if this was $40.
I would sort of be, but I've also seen the prices of software on Steam, and they are sometimes weird.
Yeah, so Scrivener is $40. This is whatever price it is. Just compare it. You've seen what this does. You should also try Scrivener because it has a trial, a very fair trial, might I add, and it has a tutorial that walks you through everything Scrivener can do in it. I think the tutorial is like 1 hour to complete because it has so many stuff. So see that if you're just like a hobby writer, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, of course. Like if you just like write on the side and like to like scribble or whatnot, this might be good because you have a nice customizable writing environment. And you shouldn't use Google Drive for that because Google Drive is horrible.
I've had no problems with it, but
Google Drive scales very badly. When you get too many pages in, it starts getting formatting errors, it starts getting weird, and I'll be honest, it actually irritates my eyes when I write too much on it for lengthy periods.
It's not particularly customizable, that is true.
Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend Google Drive really. This has Steam Cloud support, which is a really big plus in my book. Like it essentially comes with a free mini Dropbox for you, and that's like a hard offer to pass up on, in my opinion. So if you need, I mean, like Dropbox for free is also usable, but I'm just saying you can also use this if you don't like Dropbox or whatever. And in the end, just as this is a writing software, you need to use whatever works for you. I don't think this works for me right now. I'm hoping that down the line, this adds more features that makes this a more customizable thing for it. But I think I'll stick with what I have right now.
Okay, yeah. Frankly, the only thing I would want is a good WordPress writing software that could that actually shows me how things get before I publish it, because WordPress' own writing thing is not great.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
I'm not in the market of a more full-featured thing personally, so this isn't anything I care about.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's Nimble Writer for you. If you think it's for you, do check it out. As I say, I'd still go for Scrivener, although it has a lot of features I still don't use. I've gotten a lot of money, my money's worth from it.
Better than having features that people don't use than not having features people would use.
Exactly. Bye.
Bye, everyone.